I moved in my new place. I haven't had the convenience of making videos as much as I'd like because I've been busy sorting things out and organizing everything. But I wanted to make a video about whether or not psychology is a fake science. And I would say yes. My video that I previously made, I'm doing this in response to some comments. Overall, the comments were wonderful. But some people, and they happen to be people that are in the psychological field, tend to think that psychology has merit as a science. It does not. Psychology doesn't have merit as a science because of issues with data collection and an inability to replicate, and this is true with all the social sciences, including criminology. There's difficulty replicating and testing the premises that are put forth, okay? So it's not really science, okay? Now, recently I had been seeing a therapist, and people go, oh, you saw a therapist, you don't believe in psychology. That's not 100% true. I believe that therapy and psychology can be helpful, like philosophy is helpful, or religion is helpful. However, therapy can be harmful, just like philosophy or religion can be harmful. For every one person helped by religion, there's thousands more that are harmed. The same is true with psychology, and the same is true with philosophy. Many people lack the ability, and they lack the cognitive ability to discern what is good and what is bad. For example, I consider myself an objectivist, a follower of the teachings of Ayn Rand, and people go, how can you follow Ayn Rand? One, you believe in socialism, two, you're a fascist, blah, 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 blah. I agree with Ayn Rand where I agree with her, and I disagree with her where I disagree with her. The point is, I have the ability to be objective. A lot of people do not. So, I want to go further into how this is similar to global warming. Everybody's talking about this Greta Thunberg and global warming. Well, the fact of the matter is, global warming is not science, for the same reasons that psychology is not science. These things are not testable, and these ideas are not testable, and they're not demonstrably true. And that's another problem with psychology is this. Most of the concepts of psychology, such as the inferiority complex, the id, the ego, the blah, 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 this goes against science, just as global warming does. Because you're putting out there the answer without ever testing it. You just assume that it's true, and then if people question you, they're crazy. And that's where psychology and global warming are exactly the same. Now, I'm going to leave plenty of links to plenty of scientists that actually do disagree with global warming theory. One was a guy, Ivor something or other. He won the Nobel Prize for, I think, superconductivity. He's a physicist. But one of the things that's very important to understand is nobody can name an optimal temperature for the Earth. Nobody can, there is no, what is the optimal temperature for the Earth? It's very arrogant to think that the optimal temperature for the Earth is, 1925? And it's completely arbitrary. These ideas are completely arbitrary, just like in psychology. Completely arbitrary ideas that are put out there and assumed to be true, and that are not testable and are not scientific. So, another problem is, what's the average temperature of the Earth? As the gentleman who I'm going to leave a link to stated, the problem is, since humanity has existed, the temperature of the Earth has actually been very stable. Prior to the evolution of the human species, the climate has been very, very, very unstable. We went through ice ages, and way back when, the Earth was covered in water. Then the water went into the glaciers, and we had the ice age, and then the glaciers receded, and then we have the age we have now, and there was a mini ice age, da-da-da-da. This was all prior to the Industrial Revolution. So I'm going to leave those links. Just remember, just because people say something is science doesn't make it science. And I'm going to leave links explaining how psychology is, you can't reproduce the work of psychology. And if you notice, what does the left embrace greatly? It embraces social sciences and global warming. So the thing is, global warming and the social sciences, which are not sciences, are used to basically manipulate the public into passing leftist a leftist agenda. And I want to make sure that nobody takes my word for anything on this. I'm not, one, don't take my word, do your own research, and number two, I'm not a medical or mental health professional. So don't take my advice as being a mental health or medical professional, because I'm not. And that's all.